All right, hey everybody, this is Menz here. More or less, another What's New video. I know I kind of slacked off for the past week or so, releasing one of these. I was just a little tied up with work and other stuff. But more or less, what's new? Obviously, we have the Tank Festival kind of going on for the next, about a month and a half, I think, is left. Little note for that, basically, the dog tags, if people don't know, you can shrink them or you can install a mod. A lot of people are complaining about that, and make sure you use the 5 ticket option to buy that. But more or less, we have a battle royale mode coming up with that, and also we have on top of that a racing event. In the background here, Skoda T27. I aced this off of my stream earlier today. Figure why not have the replay kind of playing behind here, because honestly there's not a lot of like hard details to go off of as far as like new stuff. So enjoy the battle here. It's going to be an ace tanker battle, and more or less a Skoda T27. I have a review up on YouTube obviously here. I really like this. I've played it a crap ton, especially today, because I had to complete all those missions. I think the missions are poorly implemented as far as kind of forcing you to play this tank, and you have to play it to get those rewards. You can't, cherry pick and like get the rewards and then go back and get the extra rewards for the Skoda, but that's another thing. But anyway, what's new? So rumour, I don't have the tank, so I can tell you guys, as far as seeing the rumour, it's on World of Tanks blogs and stuff, but possibility we might see the VK7501K. So not the 75 or 72, 7201K, which is the tier 10. This is a German tier 8 heavy that might be coming out, a premium tank for Gamescom coming up this weekend. Who knows if that's true or not? We might see a different premium, but that's just something that somebody found on like a web page linked as far as like a, I don't know, like a game website. But in any event, make of that as you will. We might see that tank. And as far as the stats for that thing here, here's some stats. You can see it in your client. Like, I'm not going to focus too much here on it because there's a game playing in the background. This isn't the most exciting option though. It's just basically me spotting a Scorpion G for the most part. But this tank, basically what you're going to see is high alpha, high frontal armor, especially very few weak spots frontally. It's just a cupola. However, really poor gun depression. It's more mobile than you might think. The thing's pretty darn quick for a super heavy. It's basically the only downsides, unless they change the stats, which are, it's a possibility. They might put a patch rate out before they sell it. Somewhat low view range, but it's only 20 meters less. I think it's 380 than a typical tier 8 heavy. So it's not that big of a downside. And again, lack of gun depression. Honestly, the accuracy is pretty good. DPM isn't terrible, but the thing looks completely overpowered unless they kind of switch it up, in my personal opinion. Again, I haven't played it as of this video. Make of that as you will. Might change. Otherwise, what else is coming up? So no one really knows. Like, you have the Tank Festival kind of going on. You're getting frontline personal reserves, some for free, so 10 for free, 10 you can buy for gold if you would like. Basically cutting the grind in half. Equates to about $1 an hour if you spend a gold for the personal reserves, if you base it off of the $100 package. Otherwise, there's not too much news as far as like what's coming in the possible next patch. So yeah, when it comes to what else I'm talking about here, I did some polls tonight on the stream, because something I've seen a lot, which feel free to comment in the YouTube section below here in the comments if you agree with the outcome of these polls. You see a lot of like negativity around the game. It's always been a thing, and it happens in any game, but the amount of people I've seen like complaining about the game and like they hate it and this and that, I decided to run some polls over on Twitch, which, big news, granted this is YouTube, I'm now a Twitch partner as of last week. Finally. Yay. It took me a while. Not that I'm a YouTube partner here too, so yeah, there's that. In any event, ran some polls. I was kind of concerned doing them because, they're a little controversial. But the first one here, what is your current level of enjoyment for World of Tanks? So when it came down to the votes, you have the percentage of the vote and then the amount of votes here. I know somewhat small sample size. It was like, what, almost 60 votes. But 3% of the people hate the game entirely. Like this was, I worded it as you absolutely hate the game, you don't want to play it anymore. About 18% are displeased with the game. They hate most things about it, and you know, they like some things, but generally they're kind of unhappy and they're like playing less or try to play and then they stop playing. 50-50, so somewhere in the middle, you love the game but you also hate the game at the same time and you're pretty frustrated, but you also, you know, you try to play it and you like playing it. You know, they came out to be what, 18%. I keep resetting my my camera here on the replay. And then 51.6% of people enjoy playing the game for the most part. So I worded it as you like, say, 3/4 of the game, but about 25% of it kind of irks you and annoys you. But generally speaking, you like playing the game. And then 10% love the game. They don't really get frustrated at all. They don't hate pretty much anything about the game. They love it. You know, I worded it as like 90% of the game you love, but 10% you might hate. So kind of a ray of hope to where I thought it was going to be like, I was a little afraid to ask this because generally speaking, you know, for those that have seen my live stream and watch my videos here, you know, I like playing the game. Like I'll call out Wargaming on like their shortcomings and like stupid decisions and stuff like that. But for the most part, I like the game. You know, it's not perfect. Nothing is. Some of the better things in life that honestly, you know, you might like aren't always perfect. Nothing's perfect, and if it was perfect, that might be boring, and then, you know, basically you move on. That's my take on things. But anyway, this was, it kind of made me happy, which thanks if someone's watching this and you vote it, because I was thinking like, say like 75% of people were going to vote for hate the game or you're displeased with the game, and I was going to cry. So thank you for that. So poll question number 2 was, do you like the direction that World of Tanks is heading? So again, percentage of the votes and then the amount of votes. So no, not at all was 2%. So one person voted for that. You don't like the direction that Wargaming is taking World of Tanks. So I worded this as the ammo changes, rebalancing tank lines, reworking maps, bringing new maps in the game, like new events like home front, front line, basically that, turning team damage off, raising HP in the low tiers, removing XVM, blah blah blah. Any changes basically coming to the game in short or mid-term. So 2% don't like it at all. 8%, so 8.5%. So 4 people don't like most of the changes. They like some, but not all of them. 8 people, so 17% were unsure. They're waiting to see the changes, or about 50-50. They like and hate. 29 people, so 61.7%. Again, made me happy. Like most of the changes, but not all. That's a good thing. Like I worded it as the Skoda T27 here. It's kind of a good sign that people like this tank. I think this is a balanced tank. It's not too good or not too bad. It's always good when people argue over what the tank should be buffed or nerfed. Most people are saying it needs buffed, but I think it's balanced. I think it's a fine tank. Might need a little bit of top speed, but more or less like I've been doing pretty well on it. And last but not least, 10.6% of people, so 5 people, love the direction World of Tanks is heading. So they like, say, 90% of the changes and don't like 10%. This last one is a doozy. So we're getting towards the end of the replay here too. I'm hoping I can get through this poll. This one is, what do you hate about World of Tanks the most, current and or upcoming changes? There's a lot of options here. There's like 13 options, I think. So basically, starting at the top and going down, under 1% hate the upcoming ammo changes, which I was kind of surprised about because a lot of people say they hate them, and honestly a lot of people haven't tried them. But there's more pressing issues apparently than ammo if you're going off of this poll. In this case, people could pick 3 options they could vote for because there's so many different things. 5.4% hate the increased monetization of the game, specifically special events like Homefront and stuff like that, or just in general, the monetization of the game, like selling tanks, blah, blah, blah. 2.7% hate tank rebalancing and to balance the tanks, so whether it's clan war tanks or the way they introduce new premiums that might be too good. Granted, you know, this is the case of them. The Skoda T27, this tank seems fine, at least in my opinion. But anyway, 6.7% hate the map design of new maps or reworked maps, or maps in general. 2.7 hate PvE modes or the introduction of PvE in World of Tanks. 4.7% lack of matchmaking changes, just matchmaking in general, random battles. About 1.5% for ranked battles, as far as like a ranked skill mode, or just any other mode other than Clan Wars for people to play in that takes into account skill. Which I got wrecked by that stupid Emil 1951. And also getting down to the bulk of what people picked. So 10.4 or 10.1 10%. It's been a long day. Don't like that they are refusing to tighten or RNG. 8% the crew system. 11.5% poor teamwork, low player skill, and random battles. 12% trolls, team killing, physics abuse. So we're getting higher here. 10% wheeled lights. That kind of surprised me that was that high. And the highest out of everything was WN8, stat shaming, and seal clubbers. I hope Wargaming, when it comes to the anonymizer, they take note. A lot of people, like I'm a pretty good player. I hate WN8. It's stupid. Stats in the client are stupid when it comes to in battles. Let people have whatever they want in the garage, but inside the battle there should be nothing. I hope the anonymizer, obviously they're trying to bring it. They're currently developing it. I hope we see it sooner or later. But the amount of times I've done polls on my live stream, which please comment in the comment section below too. Some people might think that only, say, good players want XVM and the stats removed from the battle. Amount of people that I've asked this before, and even asked if you're a good or bad player, people said they're going to block their stats if they have the option with the anonymizer, whether they're good, bad, mediocre, middle ground, whatever. People, because you don't need it anymore. It's just stupid. WN8's a stupid system. No mod should influence someone playing and how they play in the game when it comes down to World of Tanks in 2019. Like, even this team HP bar you see at the top of my screen, that influences how I play a lot. Wargaming added in. It's in grand battles. They have the HP bar up there anyway. Add it to every battle. It's not that difficult. But anyway, that was the polls. As far as the end game screen here, again, this was the first time I aced this. I aced it twice today. You know, more or less. I'm really enjoying this tank. Like, obviously, it's not for everybody. Like, it's kind of hard to play because you have somewhat low DPM and a little bit sluggish sometimes with the terrain resistance and the top speed being 50. But I think it's pretty good. And honestly, I get some pretty surprising bounces off of this thing too. But, you know, going off of my YouTube review too, that was a pretty crappy battle. I've actually really enjoyed playing this thing today and doing all the missions, albeit I didn't like being forced to do the missions for the most part. In any event, you know, thanks for watching this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the battle. You know, there's not too much news I can really say. Really, the only upcoming thing that's rumored is the VK7501K, but again, that's a rumor. I have no idea if they're actually going to sell the tank. I haven't played it, or else I wouldn't be talking about it right now. But you know, we'll see what they come out with Gamescom, because they're going to be focusing apparently a lot on their two other games. One's called Caliber, and I'm forgetting the other one, the RPG one. I'm sure people in the comment section are going to kind of, yeah, comment about that. I forget the name of it because they asked if we wanted to test it, but I don't have any time to. In any event, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week. I'll have another WoT's New, and we should hopefully have some info about the next patch and the super test and stuff like that. And yeah, have a nice one, guys. Thanks for watching.